Hi, I'm Gerard Paul, the pro-life guy. I'm going to be reading you something from the internet, and the link will be over in the description. And the reason I'm putting the link in the description is because YouTube would pull this video off if I showed the pictures. And if you don't have a stomach for those type of pictures, I wouldn't even look at the link. Anyway, let me read something here to you. Recently, deplorable news is spreading in China of a new trend of drinking baby soup. Spending around 3,000 to 4,000 yens could purchase a 7 or 8-month-old baby as soup ingredient. A Taiwanese businessman described the baby soup as a fortifying tonic. Mr. Wang, a Taiwan businessman from Dongyang, told the reporter that he is a patron of the baby soup. He said that the baby soup can restore vital energy. According to Mr. Wang, if boiled together, and he mentions a bunch of ingredients, for about 8 hours, the baby soup is good for the blood. Mr. Wang sat hugging his 19-year-old mistress, who's from the Hunan province. He continued to say, "I am already 62 years old, and I am still able to have sex every night, and it is all dependent on this baby soup." Mr. Wang saw the reporter was looking suspicious, and that's why he offered this information, and he volunteered to bring the reporter to taste the soup. Mr. Wang, sorry, it's getting me sick. Mr. Wang then brought the reporter to the restaurant in Fuzhou, where cooks were making the baby soup. After they arrived, the restaurant's assistant chef told them that the ribs, referring to the baby's ribs, are hard to find. There is none in stock, but there are fresh placentas. Placentas cannot be put in the freezer, and it's good to eat them fresh, the chef told the reporter. If they want to eat a baby, there was a couple from outside the province that might be willing to sell the baby, he's telling them. The couple already had 2 daughters, and the wife was again 8 months pregnant. The parents will use salt water to expedite the child's birth. If the baby is a girl, the parents will sell the baby to the shop for soup. So apparently they're killing aborted babies. They're killing babies, aborting babies, to make soup out of them. After a few weeks of researching and interviewing, the reporter heard many more rumors about the baby soup, but he never witnessed any. He was doubtful and decided to end his research. Surprisingly, a few days later, Mr. Wang called him again and said he found a baby. The weather had gotten colder, and a few of his friends wanted to take some of the tonic. Mr. Wang and his friends brought the reporter to a restaurant in Guangdong and met with the chief chef, Chef Gaio. Chef Gaio brought them to the restaurant kitchen to see the baby. The baby was already dead, about 5 months old, and as tiny as a cat. The chef also said with apology that a friend of his got the baby from the countryside, but did not want to inform the restaurant of the baby's purchase price. Instead, the chef told the reporter that the baby's purchase price is usually around the same figure of the baby's age. The price also depends on whether or not the baby was born alive or dead. Mr. Wang told the reporter that it cost him 3,500 yen for this soup, and he did not want to care about any other details. The reporter later found from this chat with Mr. Wang and his friends that the babies were often already dead from miscarriages and abortions. The person who transfers the baby has to give the midwives a few $100s in red envelopes. During the 3rd trimesters, the person who transfers the baby must give the parent 2,000 yen as adoption fee, regardless of whether the baby is born alive or dead. Even if the babies are alive, they will be killed to be put in the soup. The reporter was invited to taste the soup, but did not have the courage to drink it, and left the restaurant. This is what's happening in other countries. China You know how many products we buy from China? Do you know? This is sickening. We sold this country out to China. We've sent all our jobs to China. China was prehistoric before we gave them everything. Meanwhile, this is the kind of stuff they're doing legally. Legally. You know, they have forced abortions in China. You know, they kill their own prisoners for body parts to sell them. We're friends with that country. Anyway, just had to let you know about this. If you have the stomach for it, click on the link. Like I always say, life is a miracle. Save the babies.